So tell me, DV, who has the power now?
Scott, come on. I have got to get back in Bordiso's room. He was this close to telling me who Christina's birth mother is, and then that nurse interrupted us.
No, Lucy, I don't want you in there.
I have to find out. We both have to know who Christina's mother is.
You're not going to let this go, are you?
No, I can't. You know that.
Well, then I'm going with you. I don't want you in there alone with him.
Okay, come on. Come on, come on.
Hey, wait, look at this. What's this?
That's the clinic where Rachel worked before she came here.
Well, do you think that you might be able to get something out of that?
It's worth a shot.
Yeah.
Florida Central Clinic. Hello? Hello?
Ellen, is that you?
There's no Ellen here.
Oh, I'm sorry, never mind. Actually, I was looking for the personnel director.
I'm sorry, but she's gone till Monday.
Okay, I'll call back.
What was that all about?
I could swear the woman I just spoke to on the phone was Ellen Burgess.
Kevin, you know, sometimes people's voices sound similar on the phone.
That's true, but that woman hesitated when I said Ellen.
Maybe she just didn't hear you clearly.
She heard me just fine. I have a funny feeling about this.
Okay. Ellen working in the same place that Rachel did in a state hundreds of miles away. It sounds like a stretch to me, don't you think?
Not necessarily. We know already that the two of them were connected somehow. Ellen said she thought she knew Rachel from somewhere before. And let's not forget the way Rachel moved right into Ellen's apartment the second Ellen left town.
Well, maybe Rachel did Ellen a favor and got her a job at her old clinic.
And maybe Rachel hustled Ellen out of town before she had a chance to tell us about her.
Kevin, remember about 3 weeks ago you also thought that Rachel could have pushed Ellen off a bridge?
So I was wrong about that then.
Well, maybe you're wrong about this too.
Possibly. But if I'm not, I could use this to our advantage.
How?
It's a long shot, a very long shot. But if I could find Ellen before I take the stand tomorrow, I might be able to get her to open up and tell me something that I can use to discredit Rachel.
Whoa, Kevin, there's no way you'll be able to get to Florida and back before you have to take the stand tomorrow.
You're right. But I have time to fax a photograph of Ellen down to this clinic and at least find out if she's an employee there.
Okay, and I'll bet Matt has a photograph of Ellen that we could use. Oh my gosh, in fact, I'll bet Matt would be very interested to know that we may have found Ellen.
Then what are we standing here for? Let's go.
Okay, I promise. As soon as I get Christina's birth mother's name from DV, I'll go. Okay, we'll out of there.
Well, let's get in and get out.
Okay, go. Oh my God. Oh. Scott.
Yeah, this is room 634. Get a doctor in here.
Code blue. Room 634, code blue.
I just came from Ferncliff, where they would not let me see my own daughter. They told me those were your orders.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Stefan. It's nothing personal. That's simply Ferncliff policy. If you want to see Julie, you need to talk to her doctor.
Oh, well then why don't you just call them and say that you've okayed the visits?
I can't do that.
Why not?
Because I need to speak to Julie about it first. I'm sorry. I would have done it sooner, but things have been hectic here.
I understand. We all have our own agendas. When will you make it possible for me to see my daughter?
My shift is just about over. If you don't mind waiting a couple of minutes, why don't we drive to Ferncliff together?
Wonderful. Then I can ask you some questions about Julie's care.
You know what? I'd be delighted to help any way I can.
Dr. Hayes, dietary. Dr. Michael Hayes, dietary.
Oh, boy, it's so ironic, isn't it, that if DV dies, we'll be that much further away from knowing anything about Christina's birth mother. So here the two of us are hoping he lives.
Not me, Lucy. I don't care whether he lives or dies.
Oh, Scott, don't say that. Don't say that. We need to know about Christina's birth mother. Don't even say that.
Well, I don't care.
Hey, Tony.
Tony, is Bordiso dead?
No. The CAT scan showed a significant amount of cerebral hemorrhaging, which we were able to stop. So he's still unconscious, but he's going to live.
So I saved his miserable life.
Yeah, you did. I suppose that doesn't make you too happy. I know he's not one of your favorite people.
That would be an understatement.
Yeah, I have heard about some of the problems he caused, but he won't give you any trouble for a while.
Well, thank you, Tony. We really do appreciate it.
Sure. I'll check back in.
Okay, see you later.
Bye.
Dr. Hogue, pathology. Dr. Jan Hogue.
I should have left him for dead.
Oh, come on. Scott, you would never do that.
Oh, come on, Lucy, think about it. When Laura left me for Luke, I tried to drink myself to death down in Mexico. After that didn't work, I came back. And I came back looking for revenge. And every morning that I woke up, all I could think about was how I could destroy Luke Spencer.
But you didn't do it.
Not out of lack of trying. So you see, I'm just like my father.
Oh, my. Matt, what, did a trash truck explode in here?
Well, that's very funny. Actually, I've just been working a lot of overtime. Haven't had a chance to pick up anything. Here, take a seat.
Thanks.
I know you didn't come by to talk about my house cleaning habits, did you?
No, we didn't. Actually, I may have found Ellen.
Really? Where?
I think she's working at a clinic in Florida.
Have you heard from her?
No. I honestly don't know or care where Ellen is, so if that's the main reason you stopped by...
Well, no, actually, there's more. Kevin and I have been trying to find out some information on Rachel Locke, something that might help the prosecution.
Mm-hmm. Which led us to the place where Rachel used to work. The same place where a woman who sounded exactly like Ellen answered the phone. Now, if there's some sort of collusion between the two of them, anything at all, I need to find out about it.
How?
Well, I'd like to start by faxing a photograph of Ellen down to the Florida Central Clinic and see if anyone down there knows her.
Do you have a photograph of Ellen that we could use?
I might have one I didn't toss out. Look, I know to the untrained eye this place looks a little unorganized.
How long have you been doing overtime, Matt?
A while, yeah. Well, the hospital could always use an extra hand, and I don't mind the extra work. It helps me, you know.
Find a way to fill the time?
What do you mean?
I mean, as long as you're too busy to think about anything but work, you don't have to think about dealing with whatever it is that's bothering you.
So is this where you start analyzing me, Kevin? Encouraging me not to suppress the pain I feel over losing Ellen?
You said it. Do you want to talk about it?
I have no intention of sitting around feeling sorry for myself.
You sound pretty confident for someone who seems to have new and interesting things growing in 3-week-old Chinese food containers.
Well, I'm a slob. So what?
So, the way a person lives tells you something about what they're feeling inside. And by looking around, you seem pretty messed up.
Okay, you know what? Thank you, doctor. Session's over.
Wait, listen, Matt, Kevin's just trying to help you.
Well, then, why don't you save it for somebody who really needs it?
Matt, are you okay?
Just, seeing her face. I guess I miss her, More than I really want to admit.
Julie's waiting inside.
Well, then let's go.
If you don't mind, I'd like to tell her you're here first.
Fine.
Thank you. Hey, how you doing tonight?
Frustrated. My trial has been recessed for way too long.
It resumes tomorrow.
Well, I just want it to be over so that I could be with my husband and my baby.
Look, I know you're anxious, but you've got to focus on how well things have gone so far.
Well, it's hard. But I'll try. Why are you here? To discuss the trial?
No, you have a visitor.
Chris?
No. It's your mother.
Two arch enemies.
She made it her life's mission to humiliate me.
Will their secret past?
There are so many things about your little boyfriend that you don't even know.
Well, there are so many things about you that none of us know.
Destroy David and Erica's future.
Give me your best shot. I'm dangerous when provoked.
Don't miss All My Children, ABC Daytime.
My mother ignores me for a year, and now she comes to visit? Why, so she can get her picture in the paper? I guess a daughter on trial for murder must be good for some free publicity.
Look, I understand your aggression, Julie.
I don't want her here.
I think it's imperative that you see her.
I already know a visit with Mommy will be thoroughly unpleasant.
I think it's very important that you at least appear to maintain a relationship with your family right now.
What for?
If the jury gets the impression that your mother supports you, they're more apt to as well.
As if my mother ever supported me before.
Okay, on the other hand, Julie, if they sense the animosity between you and Nicole, they're not going to trust you any more than your mother does.
I just don't know that I can pull off the loving daughter routine.
You want to win this trial? You want to get out of Ferncliff?
Of course I do. Okay. Okay, I get it. I'll see her.
You're doing the right thing. Nicole?
Hello, Mother.
I tried to see you earlier today. They wouldn't let me in.
Well, I've been in Ferncliff nearly a year. It's a little late for a visit, don't you think?
I'm sorry, Julie. I'm sorry it's been so long. But I'm here now, and I'm so happy to see you looking so good.
Well, being locked in a mental institution has done wonders for my health. So tell me, Mother, why did you pull the disappearing act?
Well, I've been very busy.
Have you? Or was I bad for your business? I want to know, how does having a suspected serial killer for a daughter affect your image as Miss Advertising Agency?
Oh, you've got it all wrong, Julie. But let's not dwell on it.
Oh, sure. Let's just ignore the issue altogether, why don't we?
You've made a lot of changes in your life recently.
Let me guess. You mean my marriage?
Now that you mentioned it, yes. Are you sure that Chris is right for you?
You think you know Chris better than I do because you slept with him?
I I don't need to know Chris well to see that he is a greedy man, and I'm concerned about your prenuptial agreement.
Chris loves me, not my money.
Marriage is an important decision, and you've made a lot of big decisions lately that some of them concern me.
Why is that?
Because you fired Kevin Collins as your doctor and replaced him with Rachel Locke. And quite honestly, I don't think either move is to your best benefit.
Deciding to work with Rachel was the best choice I ever made.
When I met Dr. Locke, I found her manipulative and untrustworthy.
You're referring to a woman who has been here for me when you couldn't be bothered.
I'm telling you that what I see...
Rachel gave me back my self-respect. And she made me see what a good person I am.
To what end?
So that I can lead a normal life with my husband and a family. Why else would she be trying to help?
Yes, my question exactly.
Oh, she doesn't have some kind of hidden agenda, if that's what you're implying.
Oh, are you sure?
Dr. Locke cares about me. And in the last few months, she has been more of a mother to me than you have been my entire life.
Did she tell you that?
This visit is over.
I ought to hire Rachel Locke on one of my advertising campaigns. She's quite the lovely saleswoman. Heaven only knows what she's selling you now.
Goodbye, Mother.
Look how useless he is, just hooked up to these machines.
Yeah, it's hard to believe he's the same monster who terrorized our family. And now it comes to this, just a pathetic man who's probably lost his soul.
He never had a soul. I should have let him die, Lucy. It would have ended the war that he's been having with us. I could have finished it. I shouldn't have picked up that phone. I should have just walked away. I had a chance to get Bordizo out of our lives once and for all, and I blew it.
No, you didn't. You did not blow it. You took that chance and you saved his life because it just proves you're a good, decent man.
Proves that I wasn't thinking straight.
Oh, Scott, think about it. You could have let him die. Okay, 2 times you spared his life. Do you think he'd do that for you?
No, like this, he would have killed me and he would have been happy about it.
You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't kill anybody. You wouldn't enjoy it. Not even your enemy. And you know, part of the reason... I know you believe you have David Bordizo's genes coursing through your body, and maybe you do have some of his tendencies, but you had a different life. You had 2 wonderful, wonderful people who have loved you all your life.
Lee and Gail didn't stop me from doing some pretty rotten things, and I'm not just talking about Luke and Laura here.
I know the bad things you've done, from Susan Moore and marrying her just for her money, and Bobby and Jake breaking them up on purpose, and half those bad things you did.
Oh, I did a lot worse before you. I mean, I was blackmailing Alan, and how the hell do you think I got in the DA's office, for crying out loud?
Okay, so maybe you started down that path, but you stopped. You didn't let all that hatred and bitterness build up in you and ruin your whole entire life. And you know why? Because of one person who came... Actually, she came into both of our lives, and she had a very strong, positive effect on us.
Dominique.
And you know what? Maybe if it hadn't been for her, you're right. Maybe you might have ended up like Davy. But you didn't. Because she came in and replaced all that hatred and horrible feelings building up in you with love and with compassion. And if she hadn't, you know what? Maybe you'd be in jail and he'd be lying in a morgue instead of lying in that hospital bed.
Lucy, you forgot to mention yourself.
What does that mean?
I would be lost without you. Dominique. She set us on course, but you're the reason I wake up every morning now.
Hey. We won. Okay? We won. And the reason we won is because you're a better person than that man lying there. And so no matter what happens to him now, you know you won. You won.
Let's get out of here.
Well,
It's from the personnel department at the clinic. And they say that the woman in the photo does work there, but that her name is not Ellen Burgess. It's Barbara Green.
Ellen's using an alias?
Or the personnel department is just a little confused. Maybe this Barbara just resembles Ellen.
And sounds like her? I don't think so. It was just some way I could get down there and get back before I have to testify tomorrow.
Well, you don't have time. But maybe someone else does.
Hold on. I'm gonna go down to Florida. I'm gonna find out what this is all about.
Own your own crystal ball keepsake by visiting abc.com, part of the Go Network.